What's going on, Mutha Truckers? Welcome to Mutha Trucker News. Email us on muthatruckernews@gmail.com. So this question of the day, this has been going viral on social media. James put this out here. Basically, he was at Sheetz in London, Ohio. And basically, there's this truck that is at the travel center at the small truck stop. And there's this DOT officer, law enforcement, doing an inspection on this driver. And so the question of the day is, should DOT be banned from travel centers and truck stops?
We are no longer safe even at a truck stop, my friends. There's a revenue collector right here at Sheetz truck stop in London, Ohio. He's probably stealing his money.
I mean, this should be our safe haven. It should be where we sleep. And we shouldn't be bothered, right? I was driving for 10 years, moving furniture for North American Van Lines. I can't tell you how many times I've been around and I've had DOT knock on my door. And I've woken up seeing other people at rest areas and they're getting inspected. And my butt is looking around like I just close the drapes, and next thing you know, I'm pretending to go back to sleep because I don't want to get inspected, right? It's a lot of crap, right? Especially with the Chevron doctrine being reversed, meaning that anything that's passed, it has to be passed through Congress. It can't be this vague info that these companies, these federal agencies start making up all these rules. But there is a rule that makes it okay for DOT officers to go on highways. And depending on if there's public access or not, they count that as a highway. But again, is this still in play because of that Chevron doctrine that the Supreme Court reversed? Because now these rules that the FMCSA make up, it sounds like something they made up. It's not something that was passed by Congress. Mud Truckers, comment down below. Everything's always a fight. If they want to make your day tough, it's going to get real tough. But after that Chevron doctrine getting reversed, these rules, they shouldn't be in play. That's all I got to say. So, my opinion, DOT officers, law enforcement, if you're sleeping, if you're relaxing, you should not be getting an inspection. Especially, it looks like my man here is doing a pre-trip inspection, getting ready to go over the road, right? So it's just craziness, man, craziness. But for the ones that want to know what this FMCSA rule and the guidelines that make these officers feel that they can stop you at, a place that should be private property, we'll go into this. I have an old clip from my buddy that's an ex-DOT that actually talks about this rule from the FMCSA. But again, these rules, after the Chevron doctrine, man, I believe none of this stuff should be real. It should just be done with, and, we should go back to business. But Mud Truckers, comment down below.
Yeah, so ultimately, this comes into play with what you're saying. Can an inspector go to a truck stop, go to a rest area, go to a shipper receiver, depending where it is, and can they inspect you on those properties legally? So the answer to that is the definition of a highway. Now, everybody out there, I don't want you just assuming you know what a highway is. You ask a 12-year-old, they'll probably tell you it's the interstate or some road. But we need to go through what's up on the screen here to determine, according to the feds, what is and what is not a highway. Then I'll bring it home and tell you where you can get inspected. So what is a highway? A highway means a road. That's pretty easy. A street. Okay. Or a way. A way? What is a way? Let's keep reading. Whether on public or private property, open to the public travel. Oh, so as long as there is a way on private property that's open to the public, it's still a highway. So let's take a truck stop. A truck stop is not a road. It's not a street, but it is a way on private property open to the public. So far, a truck stop is absolutely a highway. Let's keep reading. Open to public travel means it's available, other than extreme weather, passable by a four-wheel standard passenger car. Open to the general public, here's the key, without restrictive gates, no prohibitive signs or any regulation restricting access. So what does that mean? A truck stop. Is a truck stop private property, and is there a way where a four-wheel car can drive around? And if there's no sign or gates prohibiting cars, just the public cars, from driving around the truck stop, then that is absolutely a highway. Now, some truck stops will have the area in the back, and only truckers can go back there. You might have to pay to get in. It has restrictive gates, trucks only. Well, then that's not a highway, and they can't go on there and inspect you. So the whole key here is you can get inspected when you're on a highway. You cannot get inspected when you are not on a highway. So trucking company terminals, they're not highways as long as there's a prohibitive sign saying authorized vehicles only, right?
If an officer wants to give you a road check right there, it sounds like that's a highway. But if you are at a paid truck parking where it's only authorized commercial vehicles only inside, you're safe from them. So if they go ahead and try to give you inspection, then you could break down this law, right? And you'd probably win that, correct?
Correct. You would do a data queue and you would win that. Here's the perfect example of fighting a data queue with a highway. I had a customer once, Mutha Trucker. They had a truck and trailer crash into their own tractor trailer. So they had two trucks crash into each other, but they were at a postal facility. And the postal facility parking lot is not open to the public. So we did a data queue and said this crash did not happen on a highway. It happened in the parking lot to the postal facility, which is restricted from public access. And we did a data queue and got both crashes removed from their CSA scores because that was just an incident that occurred off highway, you see? So earlier I said a shipper, right? Let's say you go to an actual Home Depot store or a Lowe's store to deliver. Well, the back of the store doesn't have restrictive gates, doesn't have prohibitive signs. Cars can drive behind a Walmart or a Home Depot or a Lowe's. If your truck's back there, you're still on a highway. But if you go to like a Walmart distribution center and you go through a gate to get in there, you're no longer on a highway.
Got it. Hey, you gotta say it to me a couple times so that people learn as well.